Hello friends, in this video we are going to discuss recursion. So what is the definition of a recursion? A function call itself is called recursion. Let us take an example of it. Here I have defined the function f, and here from in this line the function is calling itself. So this call is basically called a recursive call, and this function is a recursive function because in this is f8 is calling itself. So it is a recursive function. Let us take a practical example of a recursive function. So task here is to find the factorial of a given number using recursion. So we already know that n factorial is equal to n into n minus 1 factorial. And we know that 0 factorial is equal to 1 and the factorial for negative number does not exist. So I have written a recursive function to compute the factorial of a given number n. So here if n is equal to 0, return 1, otherwise return n into fact n minus 1. So in this written statement, this fact n minus 1 is calling itself, which means it is a recursive function. And this particular call is called recursive call. And this part, if n is equal to 0, return 1, is a base condition of recursion. Base conditions plays very important role in any recursive function because it is basically the stopping criteria for that recursion. Let us take analyze the importance of the base condition in a recursive function. So importance of base condition in a recursive function, let us take a previous example only. Int fact int n, if n is equal to 0, return 1, return n into fact of n minus 1. So here factorial of n minus 1 will call n minus 2. Factorial of n minus 2 will call n minus 3. And when n value will become 0, its function will return 1. So if this base condition is not here, which means that our function will never stop. It will keep on calling itself. That's why we call it a stopping criteria. If we are going to miss this base condition, so let's take like we have not written any base condition for a recursive function. In this case, this recursive function will keep on calling itself. Keep on calling, and it will enter into an infinite loop and you will get a memory stack full error. Okay. And third property is you should always write the recursive base condition before the recursive call. So let's suppose take you have written your base condition below the recursive call. Return 1. In this case, the function again keep on calling itself, and your this statement will become dead state. A dead statement is a statement which will never got executed during runtime. Therefore, your executor will never execute. So these are the three importance of the base condition. It's a stopping criteria for a recursion. If you miss to write this condition, your program will enter into infinite loop. Even if you have written these base conditions, but it should be at the proper position. It should always be before recursive call. Otherwise, your function will again enter into the infinite loop. Okay. So now let's visualize the recursion. How but visualization means to understand what recursive function you have written, how you are going to understand it, how it is working. So let us take an example of factorial 5. So factorial 5 will call 5 into factorial of 4, which will further call 4 into factorial of 3, which will call 3 into factorial of 2, which will call 2 into factorial of 1, and finally it will call 1 into factorial of 0. Factorial of 0 will not call further because this is our base condition is if n is equal to 0, it return 1. So this will return 1 to us, which means 1 into 1 is equal to 1. This 1 will return here. 2 into 1 is equal to 2. This 2 will return here. 3 into 2 is equal to 6. This 6 will return here. 4 into 6 is equal to 24. This 24 will return here, and 5 into 24 is equal to 120, which is your final answer for 5 factorial. So this way you can analyze your recursive function, how it is performing. Basically, I call this method as a tree method because every recursive call here, every recursive call I am assuming is a node of a tree. Okay, so you can also use a tree visualization of a recursion. Okay, so this is the tree visualization. Let us think of the other type of visualization of the recursion, which is basically is a memory view. Okay, let me draw the memory. So whenever any program is loaded into the memory, a stack area is allocated to it. Okay, so this is a memory stack area. Okay. So first I am putting here is main function, because whenever any function is called, its activation record, basically it is called activation record, or in short form I will say AR, is created on the stack. So main is called, let's suppose main has called factorial of 5. Then factorial of 5 will call 5 into factorial of 4, which will call 4 into factorial of 3, which will call 3 into factorial of 2, which will further call 2 into factorial of 1, and this will call 1 into factorial of 0, and it will not further call because factorial 0 is our base condition. So factorial of 0 will turn 1, 1 into 1 is equal to 1, 1 will again return here, 2 into 1 is equal to 2, then return here, 3 into 2 is equal to 6, 6 return here, 4 into 6 is equal to 24, then here 5 into 24 is equal to 120. This 120 will return to factorial 5, which will return to the main function, and 5 factorial is equal to 120 is your final answer. Okay, so this is how your memory will look like when any recursive function is called. Every time you are calling your recursive function, it's one of the activation record which keep on pushing on the top of the stack. Okay, this is the major takeaway from this view. Okay, now let me conclude my topic with the final layout of the recursive function. So what is the final layout of recursive function is, if you are going to write any recursive function, your first statement in general should be your base condition of the recursion. Okay, so in our factorial program, it was if n is equal to 0, return 1. Different recursive function had different base condition. Okay, that depend upon the problem. Now the second thing is computation or recursive call. In our case, we did a recursive call of factorial of n minus 1, because this is required to compute the factorial of n. And finally, we did some computation after this, which is n into factorial of n minus 1. This is the computation we did to compute the factorial of n. Let's suppose I'm storing this value in R variable. So finally, what we were returning? R as a final answer of n factorial. So this is a general layout of recursive function. Do not forget to write the base condition for the recursive function. This is very important for any recursive function. Hope it helps you to understand the recursive function better. Thank you.